I'm Dr. Margaret Browne. I am a GIS and data manager for the TELUS project for the Geological Survey Ireland. I have a PhD in marine micropaleontology from the Department of Geography in Mary Immaculate College.
Thank you, Dr. Browne. Can you expand on your role as the GIS and data specialist?
I work with the Geological Survey on their TELUS programme. The TELUS programme is a national surveys of geophysical and geochemical analysis of the Republic of Ireland. For my role, I manage the data that has come in. So we have a lot of geophysical data, magnetics, electromagnetic, and radiometric data. So I would manage that data and then publish it so it's available to the public and for research. We also have geochemical surveys. So I would manage the data that is being collected in the field. And then once it's been analysed, then I would bring that data through to be published again for both research and for public viewers. We also work on some applied products and projects. So we are trying to see, okay, what additional value we can add to the TELUS data. So I've been working on mineral prospectivity mapping. I've been working on a terra soil project and some other kind of smaller projects that we've got within the TELUS program. So I would be kind of integral with helping the specialists with the data capture and processing, and then bring it on to publishing it to the public. So that's where kind of my role is across the project.
That sounds fantastic. Have you heard of the term a sharing economy, and have you come across that, or how in your PhD life or your working life, and how that would fit into your role?
I think it's a term that it would be kind of integral of both my PhD and my current role. For my PhD, I was looking at a marine environment, looking at small fossils called planktonic foraminifera. So they're really good. They're these planktonic organisms that live within the water column, and they're very good for telling us about past climates. And I had a marine sediment core from a particular area of the Mediterranean, but I was also interested in seeing what was happening across the whole of the Mediterranean during the last 15,000 years. And but obviously I wouldn't have access to all that data. So a part of my project was actually sourcing other people's data from across the Mediterranean. So through open source portals, so data portals, and also through actually contacting the people researching in the area, I was able to get data sets for about 70 different cores, about 70 cores from across the Mediterranean. And from that data, and being able to access other people's data in an open source and sharing, I was able to use that data then to kind of reconstruct what was happening in across the whole Mediterranean during since the last glacial maximum. So from the last cold period, and as the climate's getting warmer, I was able to map and analyze what was happening over the last 15,000 years. And that is only made possible by the fact that people are willing to share the data, and that is the collaboration that was there. So that was a vital part of my PhD. And also, taking the methodologies that people use, and and to kind of take that and run, develop that a bit more. So that was quite a vital part of my PhD. It's also a fundamental part of the project I'm in at the moment. So I'm in the Geological Survey is a part of the Department of Climate, Environment and Communications. So we are a government-run department, and so the data that we collect is then available, is disseminated freely to the public and to research communities, in Ireland and across the world. So it would be quite tied up as well with Europe. So my role within the TELUS project is actually just taking that data that we collect and making sure that it is available for people to do research with, but also then for the public to kind of be able to see and visualize. And that's kind of actually one of the current roles that projects that I'm doing at the moment, is actually helping people to see what we are doing and what data we have. And so that's kind of, for both my sides of my career, that has been quite important. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And that sounds really good. That open source data is really what makes the roles work. In regards to using that kind of digital platform and that digital resources, how do you think we can get the public more involved in these kind of areas, or using that information?
Well, I think it's communication, really, that we need to be able to communicate this to people so that they know it's there. Because, you know, so the data that, say, for within the TELUS project, the data that we would use would be very much used by the mineral exploration community, with environmental communities, and also with agronomic, you know, with the agricultural communities. So it's actually trying to make the people aware and make the data available in a way that people can actually understand it, and also be able to kind of interrogate it and look at it. So we do provide the raw data. We do provide reports and stuff around it, which would be more geared for the kind of scientific research communities. But we also have our data available on freely available viewers, so that we have mapped up our data, and so people can actually interrogate and zoom into an area that they're interested in and look at it. Also, as part of what we do is actually working with other organizations to kind of apply, to kind of added value for this. So one of the projects I'm working on is Terra Soil, and that's with GIS, and we're looking at how we can make our soil geochemistry data, trying to just kind of add additional value to that, and then to allow that to be disseminated to people within the agricultural sector, so they can understand, okay, what is the chemistry would we expect in where your farm is. Okay, what do you need to add more fertilizers? Do you need to add more lime? Do you need to do that kind of work on your ground? And it's just actually, so, you know, making our products a little bit, tweaking them so we can give the raw data to the scientists, but also just adding a bit more value to make it a bit more understandable for the end users, for people that are interested in what the soil has. So it's communicating, it's making our data available a little bit easier to understand, and kind of that, and just, you know, free for what we want to do, you know.
That sounds fantastic, and I think that's so important, as you mentioned, understand what you're doing, and if we understand what's out there and the work that you're doing, and the fantastic chemistry and things like that, they can make better ideas and plans and projects for what really integral to that kind of work.
And it's integral for, like, the environment, or, you know, like, you know, we're working with people that are farmers. It is yes, they need to kind of get the most out of their land, but it's important for them to kind of make sure that they're doing it right. And fertilizer that's not going to be able to be, you know, used in their soil. So it's kind of to help their understanding of, okay, what they need. Resource management, it'll help with their productivity and things like that. So it is, you know, to help them, and also to, I suppose, longer term, to kind of reduce, you know, the nitrates and the phosphates going into our ground more effectively. That's a really quite important thing.
Yeah. That sounds absolutely fantastic. So much for your time this afternoon. As I mentioned, these interviews will be part of an Erasmus, looking at people like yourselves that have this kind of data, this sharing economy in their everyday work, and showing people that it's not something new that's happening. Bring that collaborative approach together. So I want you to take time and say that, and thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.